I got it! When I first heard about Dave being trapped in a maze.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I built a labyrinth. Can you believe it?
Dave is trapped in a cardboard maze in his living room and he can't get out.
Welcome to Dave Made a Minute, the podcast where a whole bunch of us are exploring the film Dave Made a Maze 1 minute at a time. The twist. Many of the participants have never seen the film. Some don't even know what film they're sampling. They get their minutes and they tackle them as they see fit. Here's your host from the Groundhog Day Project and Michael Myers Minute, Robert Black.
Minute 50. The Minotaur approaches. To tackle Minute 50, we have Johnie Powers of Austin Powers Minute and Mark Meadows of Tarantino Minute.
You come home, there's a giant maze in your living room. You're like, what the? There's a giant maze in my living room. I've heard of people rearranging the furniture, but this is wackadoodle crazy. Give me a sense of that.
This doesn't make any sense.
Is that a problem? Did you promise to my set? Provide solutions, no problem.
It's like a fucking cocktail party in here.
If I get a few words from you before you go.
Welcome back to Dave Made a Minute, where we go through Dave Made a Maze 1 minute at a time with a lot of ums. My name is Johnie, and I'm from Austin Powers Minute.
And I'm Mark from Tarantino Minute and DC Cinematic Minute.
Is that it?
There's more, but we'll keep it short.
Yeah, fancy. We'll
keep it to just the minute by minute podcast
that are out currently.
There's another one out, but we'll talk about it some other time. So
we are from Too Old Media.
Mm-hmm.
We're just tackling this episode of Dave Made a Maze.
What minute are we on?
50?
50?
50.
There's 80 minutes in this movie.
Is there?
That means from where we are today,
30 more minutes.
There are 30 more minutes left. Half an hour. And
Zeus, come on.
I think
dog.
what we did.
Come on, dog. That's what happens when you try to podcast with a cat.
We still good?
I think we're fine.
Okay.
He didn't unplug anything. We almost lost the whole mixer, though.
We almost lost the whole thing. He kept pulling on it. Like he didn't realize he was stuck on it.
It's all right.
Last time we did this, we were on minute 11.
Yeah.
You remember that?
A lot has progressed since that minute 11 because now we're in the maze.
Last time we talked about this movie, everyone that we see in this minute was examining the maze. They had just discovered that Dave made a maze, said it. And then they were like inviting, everyone was over at this house examining it. And I guess from then until now, it's been about 40 minutes. And apparently a lot of people have been in the maze and there's only a few people left, I'm assuming. I think we talked about it last time, but we talked about mythological influences on this film, and we talked about like how there's a Minotaur apparently in this film, so it felt very like Greek mythology with Theseus and stuff like that. I think that was the last time we talked about it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we're gonna talk about it again because we're in the maze now. And the minute basically begins with the girl realizing, wait a minute, how did you find us?
Mm-hmm.
And the boom guy, the sound guy, literally picks up sunflower seeds that have been spit out, so like they're shells.
Yeah.
Which is super funny because Theseus used a magic rope. So this is kind of like the magic rope of like finding your way through the maze. It's just Hansel and Gretel style versus like a solid object.
There's like mythological tales where breadcrumbs are used in storytelling.
Yeah, it's like Grimm's fairy tale. That's like grotesque. Those guys died in the real thing.
The Brothers Grimm?
No, Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about like the Germanic tales and stuff like that?
Yeah, they're all just like tales. Creepypastas for...
Look at today's society. No one's kids are safe, right?
Well, that's dark.
Well, yeah. Well, apparently a lot of people died in this movie as well that we didn't get to see. We don't get to see anyone die in this minute and either.
I just love how the guy he's keep eating sunflower seeds. Like he's just going. Is this a nervous habit? Maybe.
So that's camera operator who's eating the sunflower seed. Apparently him and boom operator don't have names. But the girlfriend, the significant other to Dave is Annie. That's her name. And then neckbeard guy.
I'll let you know, if you build a maze, I'm not going to get in it. Not if there's a Minotaur in it.
Yeah.
If this was like a casual box fort, yeah, we can talk about it.
I'd get in a maze because
I've been in mazes. Just would you want a Minotaur in your maze?
Well, the thing is, like, life is boring already, which I think might be the synopsis.
So, like, let's go commit suicide in a Minotaur labyrinth.
I think that's the catalyst for building something like this. Is you have, and I think, did I say this last episode we did for minute 11, where I was like, I could see someone who's not all there being like, wow, life is super boring. I bet it'd be a lot more interesting. It's like people who want the zombie apocalypse to happen, not because they know they would survive it, but because, or that it would be fun. It would just be more interesting than day-to-day life. And so to get away from day-to-day life, they're like, what if I just built a maze? And it's like, oh, I can't control it. But it's like, hey, but that's interesting. And it's like, oh, you could die in there. And it's like, I'm going to die in real life anyways. Am I going to die sitting at my office desk, or am I going to die?
I mean, I get it, but like
getting killed by cardboard.
That's also equally as sad and mundane. If you say it like that, it's like you died in a cardboard maze. That is almost equivalent to you dying in an office chair.
When you, let's say, because I think someone gets decapitated with like a cardboard buzzsaw or something, but it's like, does it hurt like a sword blade, like a sharp kitchen knife, or does it cut like cardboard cuts? Because I wouldn't like being cut by cardboard.
It's like a epic paper cut.
Yeah, it'd be the worst thing to happen.
I don't know. I just I'm okay with mazes. They're fun. They're challenging. I just don't want to die in one. Which, after they discuss like, oh, we found you because of this, you hear like a rumbling in the background, and that's the Minotaur that's in the labyrinth, which is interesting. Of like, if Dave made the maze, did Dave also make the Minotaur at the same time?
Based on something. Now they say the maze like goes out of his control or something. I don't know if they got to that part yet, but it's gotten out of his control. It's like he thinks his imagination is manifesting this itself, which is very like surrealist, which is kind of interesting.
So his Minotaur is like probably his fears and like all of the manifestation of anxiety coming out into the one thing that lives inside of a maze in his mind of like, oh, Minotaurs live in my maze. Clearly, I'm just gonna make it.
It's a good story. I like the synopsis. I think as a book, it would be like a phenomenal thing to read. I think mazes are always interesting to people, like especially if they're used as like a metaphor. Like I feel like this movie is implying, but it doesn't. I don't know if it hits it all the way home, but it's an interesting. I like the story a lot. I think this is. I wonder if they'll ever get around to being noticed enough that people will actually try to replicate the maze, like a Halloween Horror Nights type maze, where they're like, "Oh, we'll make haunted houses at Universal Studios are already mazes. And why don't we make a haunted house maze that is Dave Made a Maze?" Because I'm saying maze a lot.
Yeah, it's Autumn's.
But yeah, and it's a really interesting story, and I think that deserves some credit, at least for the writing. Execution wise, there were some criticisms I had for this minute, and I think the first one was the sunflower seed part. I don't know who composed the music or whatever, but it's fine. It's just when they go, oh, how did you get here? There was like dramatic cues that were happening, and there's a dramatic cue that happens before it is revealed that camera guy is leaving this breadcrumb like unintentionally. And it's like, it kind of spoils the reveal when the boom operator like says, you know, he just shows the shells of sunflower seeds. And in like the vein of like Edgar Wright, who does like Scott Pilgrim and Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead and all that, the comedic timing would be that once you show the sunflower seed, like that is the haha moment. That is like, oh, that's funny. Like there's a dramatic reveal for something, but it's like the dramatic cue happens before it's even shown. So it's almost like, oh, I should be laughing at whatever comes next. And it's not funny when it's like, oh, there's something I gotta laugh at in a minute. That almost feels like I have a job to do now, where it's like, oh, I have to laugh at this. Not, oh, wasn't expecting that. That is genuinely funny. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
It's like one of those things where it's like, ooh, you barely missed the punchline. In fact, you jumped the gun on the punchline.
Yeah.
Oh, Gordy just
I mean,
the pooch.
the only reason why I still thought it was funny is because the boom guy was like, his face was really interesting. But
oh, the camera operator spitting the seeds out after?
No. The sound guy, his like crazy eyes when he was like holding it, I was like, okay, that's funny. And also equally the camera guy's crazy eyes, I guess, because they both had them of like the intensity. But yeah, the music and the sound cues kind of like were a little disjointed.
Mm-hmm. But overall, it's like I get it. It's they got to the point on it. It's just as far as jokes go, it's like, oh, almost made it. And then I think after that, they're just like, all right, time to go, you know, like time to like hurry off into the distance because they hear the Minotaur. So they put
a towel and a piece of duct tape.
They put a towel and a piece of duct tape on it, which I guess is in terms of Dave made a maze. I keep wanting to say Dave made a Matthews Band, and I don't know if anyone has said that
That's
joke
the
yet.
sequel.
Yeah, Dave made a Matthews Band. That's what he should have done instead of making a maze.
Well, he had to get over his demons first.
That's if anyone wants to do a Dave Matthews cover band.
No.
Dave made a Matthews cover band.
No.
Oh my god.
How about no one?
I should be the first one making this joke, I bet. Oh, I hope no one else has made that joke. It's
Will you feel fulfilled?
comedy gold.
Okay.
Dave made a Matthews cover band. That should be the title of the episode. Just producers out there, make it happen.
No. Don't give him the satisfaction of making that the title.
But yeah, it's like they put the towel with the duct tape on it, which I get in terms of the maze. It's like, oh, okay. I'm sure that's like...
It's a material that it's like mundane.
Yeah.
But my thing is like...
I've never been a fan
why?
Of who Gordon is, the neckbeard guy.
The thumbs up guy in this minute.
Yeah. And minute 11,
the bird.
I said the same thing in minute 11 where I was like, is this guy supposed to be like the main character? Which I understand Dave is the main character because he made it, but it always seems like we're following the lead of Gordon, and maybe not in the lead, like he's actually leading the troop through this maze, but leading the film as in I am the chorus, I am
exposition,
I am the audience's tour guide in this. That's the one that we attach ourselves to and go, oh, okay, we are following this person. And I've always felt like he's a little too pessimistic for me to give a shit about every time I see him, because everyone else seems interesting, you know. I kind of think of like other Adult Swim type shows that fit in this realm, which is like fat guy stuck in the internet and stuff like that.
I don't know, I just think of him as like kind of an asshole, just because like the way he reacts to like instances, like everybody's like, crap, we got to get out of here. And he's just like casually strolling by the door, like flipping the bird at the Minotaur. I'm like, you want to act like a cool ass guy, but you're scared like everybody else. And this is how you basically cover it up.
Yeah.
And that just makes me mad. I'm like, just be a genuine person. Like, just be genuinely you. Don't be like, I'm the cool guy. I'm going to do what the audience thinks is cool. Like, no, just be like, shit, that's a Minotaur, and we better get out of here. Which I think the next part is like he notices that part of the duct tape has come off out of the door, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna fix that." And he goes up there and he like fixes it. Dumbass gets stuck to it, which also how that duct tape must be made with like Gorilla Glue.
All of a sudden, yeah.
Because he's like stuck and the Minotaur is like coming, and then I guess it's like the just desserts of like karma of him like flipping the bird, and then, well, you spoke too soon. You should have not done that.
Yeah, I think the maze knows about these people. Obviously, like it has like an internal.
The maze knows.
Like yeah, and it traps him. I want to say like it was like, okay, I have you now, and so like the
okay,
tape,
asshole, you thought you were cool.
And the tape adheres to him, and it traps. I think it almost looks like it wraps around his hand.
Well, he's also that cool guy that's got the like thumb slits in his like sweater.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So his like sweater. I know I'm like trying to do this with my flannel.
Yeah, like
but
we're
his, like
when Hot Topic
like
first.
this,
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like he. God.
It just he comes off as like one of those like modern day nerd like YouTubers that are like, it's like, dude, you're not that cool by being a fucking asshole. And it's not like I'm trying to be cool. It's more like, hey, if I be Mr. Walls Up man, like I have like I'm intelligent. I don't know. It's some fucking Reddit
like
personality that I was like, are you the main character? Because I want to like everyone else. I don't like who you are.
Well, I feel like that's also the retaliation of the maze of like, he goes through life thinking that he's cooler than Dave. He's cooler than all of his friends. He's like that snarky, pessimistic dude. And like he gets attention for it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I can just skate through life like that. And the maze is like, you thought.
Mm-hmm.
You thought.
But you thought.
So, and then they, like the Minotaur, I mean, we don't have minute 51, so I guess we'll have to figure out like afterwards. But it's like, Minotaur's like, you thought you were going to get away. Everybody else.
I wish the Minotaur was like that. Instead of a Minotaur being like a wrestler or anything like that.
It would be like
him
like
from
the
Powerpuff
Puberty
Girls.
Beast or whatever. Oh, or him.
Yeah.
If like they were put together. Like if Big Mouth and Powerpuff Girls like were one universe.
It'd be like a really gay Willy Wonka. That's what I want. We'd be like, bitch, I got you. And it's like some death trap waiting for each person. That's what I would want to see.
I'd be here for it.
But like, yeah, it's I don't know. Neckbeard Gordon really grinds.
Neckbeard Gordon.
I think what it like.
It's an intense. I think it's because his beard is just like really low. That most of his beard is his neck.
It's almost like trimmed, and it's like the makeup department was like, okay, we got to make the neck beard like it's so clean shaven and like taken care of, and it's like it's one of those things where like man buns, where it was like, dude, you could have the most the most nurtured man bun, but at the end of the day, it's like it's still a man bun. And it's like,
yeah, but like at the same time, man bun is like hair in appropriate places versus a very thick carpeted neck beard is not comfortable for, like, I feel like it's annoying to the person who has it too, because if that's itchy. I don't have a beard. Maybe I should try it.
Let me clarify. It's like people, like the trend with the, I guess the notoriety with man buns was that people were growing their hair out just long enough to make a man bun.
Oh, yeah, like those really sad man buns. But I'm just saying, like, if you have the hair for it and you got a full
If you just
bun,
have long hair, like Jason
life.
Momoa, if you just have long hair and you're like, I'm going to put my hair up like any normal person with long hair.
Or like the faded sides with like the long tops were like really popular for a while.
That to me is man bun, like the trendy man bun. And I don't give a shit about that stuff. Like, it's almost, I guess it goes the same way with like having an actual full beard, where it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna have a full beard and it covers,
please don't shave every part of your face except your neck beard and your mustache. Like, Lord, please don't.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's uncomfortable for you.
It's uncomfortable for me.
Well,
to look
also
at.
for me.
That's
not
what.
to
That's
look
what
at.
the Minotaur is after. The
Minotaur's like, you have a neck beard. I'm done with you.
Yeah.
But it's not. I don't know. I
That's
just
my
think
rant
he's
for. I'll get off
neckbeards
the
and
facial
man
hair.
buns. I just think that all of this is retaliation on him trying to be the cool guy, which I'm okay with.
I hope it.
How is he friends with
Here's the
them?
thing. How's he friends with Dave?
Yeah.
Or
I
how
feel
are
like
people friends with people like Gordon?
All of the above.
Okay, so the last one, the answer is very simple because it happens all the time, and it's like people just find people fit in like puzzle pieces when they have friends, and their character dynamics always fit into something.
Hi, PSA: drop your toxic friends.
Reevaluate your friends all the time.
Like, I'm not saying that he is toxic, but his pessimism and snark are just like
everyone has that one friend
abrasive.
who's like, yeah, everyone has that one friend who's like abrasive is a good
yeah,
word.
and then I'll definitely look at you and be like, hey, you're an asshole right now. Do I in my head do I value this friendship enough to?
I think what I was hoping for was that I was hoping that Gordon and I'd have to see the end of the story to see what happens, but
like a redemption.
It's something that you almost expect Gordon, and I asked this in minute 11, is Gordon the one who made the maze? Because it seems like he would be the person who is kind of like
nihilistic.
I know what the fuck. Yeah, I think I said nihilist like the last time. But it's like he would.
Yeah, but you said it about Dave last time. I feel like
because I didn't know the names.
Yeah, well, Dave is Dave. Dave is the sad guy in the maze, like
I have
not
Dave.
knowing what's
I have
going
Dave
on.
pegged. I like the concept, the story, the metaphor. Like knowing that I have.
I just think he has intense anxiety and depression, and that's how he's dealing with it.
Now, if they just said Dave was just some guy who was like, oh, I got bored and I made a maze and like,
no,
look how
he
smart
has like problems.
I'd be like, no. We all have problems. You've got a problem. The reason you made a giant maze out of cardboard is because you got issues with dealing with real life, so you made some escapist platform.
Yeah, that's exactly why I sit with the cats on the couch and watch anime. That's my like
we
depression
all have our
escape
rope, Pokemon. Anyways, with Gordon, it was almost like, so you've got problems. Do you get those resolved by the end of the story? Do you also figure out how to deal with things in a way that is like, because it would be a very shallow victory if it was like, oh, Gordon comes in and he just flicks everything off and like thumbs ups everything as he like just
I
happens
roll
to,
into the universe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I rolls his way to victory. It'd be one of those things where like, so we're just gonna I roll.
That was the moral of the story: is you have to beat Gordon.
Oh, that would be the terrible. That'd be the worst
lose
ending.
my shit.
I guess I should read it and see because but I can't spoil it for anyone else who hasn't finished it.
I feel like it's like everybody who goes into that maze, whether you're Dave or not, has to confront something.
But that, like, you know what the
and then if you don't confront it, you die. It's like Saw.
The takeaway.
It's the same. It's like if Dave Made a Maze is kind of like Saw if people die. Because it's like if you don't confront or make the choice. It's like more of a morality.
But that's a takeaway I do like. I think the takeaway with Saw films, and they do it with most horror and sci-fi films.
No, that's like a twisted justice of whoever's running the event. That's what Saw was.
The takeaway, there is the first two Saw films. I don't want to muddle it with the rest of the Saw films because they do start to get with twisted justice. But the first two Saw films were like, this was the takeaway. If you do something shitty, if given the chance to do what is right, can you still redeem yourself? That is an amazing takeaway. I will gladly defend those first two films. They copy that with almost most good sci-fi and horror films to date. It's that takeaway. If you've been shitty your whole life and given a moment to redeem yourself, can you overcome and make that good decision to redeem yourself? It's an amazing thing. With Dave Made a Maze, if that is the end result, great, phenomenal. If Gordon does eye roll his way to victory, terrible, distasteful, like that would be the worst thing to do.
That's like creating the culture. It like creates the culture of kind of what we have now with like younger people of I'm out for myself, like eye roll pessimism.
Oh yeah,
like
fuck you, I got mine.
Yeah. I hate that. It's like you, regardless of how you feel about yourself, like you're part of a community, and that community matters. So like this friend group matters because you should be protecting everybody in the friend group, not being out for yours. It's like y'all in this maze together. Y'all gotta figure it out and kill this Minotaur and get away from it.
Yeah, because people have died up to this point.
Yeah, so it's like if y'all don't get it together, y'all gonna die.
Yeah, the stakes are too high to be eye rolling and being,
that's life,
Gordon.
dude. Stakes are too high for life to be eye rolling through it.
Yeah. And that's my takeaway with today's minute. Like moving on forward, I hope in the next, by the end of the next 30 minutes that we see a character development that leads to some, because what would be really sad is like an eye roll to victory, but in the victory would be like, oh, we solved my friend's maze and got him out. But it's like, okay, but did we solve the problem that he made the maze? Why Dave
had to make it in the first place.
Yeah, why Dave had to make it.
He'll just go cyclically back. He'll create like I don't know, something else.
It's like, did we nip the issue that is, okay, well, we're all suffering from interpersonal struggles, and can we overcome that through this story? It's like that would be the great ending for it. Something that it's like, and this is what I love about superhero comic book movies is they always like, yes, they have an escapist adventure, like, oh, we're gonna,
it's, at the end of the day, it's like a fable.
At the end of the day, by the time you leave the theater, you're supposed to be leaving with something that said, oh, I had a great time, it really brought joy, and I walked out with a good piece of
love conquers all, or like whatever.
Yeah, or like friends, strength in numbers, something like that. And it's like you walk out with that little golden treasure, you tuck it in your pocket and you save it for later because you left with something more. And it's like that balance of escapism and realism.
Yeah.
So that would be my goal for this film. As I said, I haven't seen the rest of the movie, but we'll find out after this.
Yeah, I guess so. Everybody, just like us, has got to keep listening to see if Gordon dies, which I don't know if I would personally be upset about at this moment, at minute 50. Don't know if I care or not.
As long as Boom Operator lives and Annie lives, we'll be fine.
Okay. I mean, Dave's got to live too.
And he doesn't have to live.
Wait, what if he dies? Does his maze just like cease to exist? Or
maybe that's the ending.
Or Dave dies and his maze like disintegrates, or like Thanos snaps and it's like gone.
It's a Force Ghost thing, and it could just like Ace in Batman. No, in Justice League. No, wait, yeah, in Justice League Unlimited. In Justice League, the first one, the first animated series, Justice League.
Yeah.
Where they fight the Royal Flush Gang.
Yeah.
Ace creates this giant, like, illusion.
House of Cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she passes away and it all goes away.
Yeah. But what if, sadly, in this, Dave's consciousness was so strong that it personified so strong, because the Minotaur exists in this, that it just continues to exist as long as there are people in it. Dun, dun, dun.
So it's not his imagination, it's his mental illness that is fueling the fire.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
I hope everything we said comes to life, because
the maze is the mental illness. Like,
if it doesn't, then I'm like, I put way too much.
It's just a maze. There's people in it. It's not depression. It's just supposed
to be a direct to DVD Adult Swim special. Like, and it's like I put way too much expectations into this.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. If you've enjoyed everything you heard, you can follow Dave Made a Minute on all social media.
There's all kinds of fun people doing it. A lot of our friends are doing it, from Mean Girls, the Batman at 89. I know Groundhog Minute's going to be doing it. A group of people called the Woodyard Boys. I think they were the ones who recorded this. It's just a bunch of guys from the Minute by Minute.
The Woodyard Boys.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of familiar.
It's the people who did the cystic fibrosis charity thing. It's like Doug and...
Oh.
Yeah, so everybody's doing crazy mashups. That's why we decided to do it together.
The Too Old Media
The Too Old Media Group.
The Too Old Media Group.
So if you guys want to listen to everybody else, go to their respective podcasts too. Everybody's pretty funny. And
if you want to talk more with us, you can find me on all social media at Mark Meadows, and I also do 2-minute podcasts. One is the Tarantino Minute podcast, where we just started analyzing Jackie Brown. Weekly episodes, 1 episode a week, 5 minutes that we cover every episode. It's an absolute blast. I love it. And then I also do one with my good buddy Nate. It's called DC Cinematic Minute. And we've talked about Man of Steel. We've talked about everyone's favorite film, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And now we're talking about the
everyone's least favorite film,
the Oscar award-winning Suicide Squad.
Okay.
How many Oscars does the Marvel Universe have?
Okay. You just hate yourself. You're doing like 2 giant universes, but that's fine. I'm only over here doing Austin Powers Minute. We are on the Spy Who Shagged Me right now, and I only have one more minute to go. God, no, I have one more movie to go.
So far,
why? Oh yeah, in case the 4th one ever comes out. But that's neither here nor there. If you want to check us out, go there. In the meantime, don't get lost in life's maze.
And then I could probably disarm all the traps, and then we could finish this maze. Who is with me?
That was Johnny Powers of Austin Powers Minute and Mark Meadows of Tarantino Minute, taking on minute 50 of Dave Made a Maze. They will be back in minute 63. Next time on Dave Made a Minute, we've got Chris Frayne and Rudy Thornburg of Open the Podcast Doors How, taking on minute 51.
Thank you for listening to Dave Made a Minute. Intro dialogue snippets were taken from Dave Made a Maze, directed by Bill Watterson, written by Bill Watterson and Steve Sears, and produced by John Charles Meyer. Intro music is Diversion by The Equals, featured in the film Dave Made a Maze, and Life Cycle of a Match by Parvis Decree. Outro music is Leaving This Godforsaken Place and Her Presence is Strong Here by Parvis Decree. Dave Made a Minute is a production of Lemming Drop Studio and all other featured podcast producers. You can find more content at lemmingdrops.com. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Dave Made a Minute. If you like what you hear, throw us a rating and review on your podcatcher of choice, and check out all of the participants' other shows to spread the love around. Again, thank you for listening.
As long as we're all working together, this is going to be fine. It's going to be great.
I need you to notify the families of everyone who died here today.
Totally. Wait, what?
There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. There's no knowing where we're rowing, or which way the river's flowing. Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane a-blowing? Not a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing. Are the fires of hell a-glowing? Is the grisly reaper mowing? Yes! The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any